What's happening, world? B Marsh Boxing, and I'm back at it once again with another boxing video. So Andre Ward has been contemplating, entertaining, or even answering questions about the thought of him returning back to the ring. Okay, now Andre Ward's about 37 years old. He's about to be in the Hall of Fame this year, as a matter of fact. First ballot inductee into the 2021 class of 2021 International Boxing Hall of Fame, Canelo, New York. Now, Andre Ward, since he's retired, and when was it? End of 2017. That was the last time he fought in the second fight versus Sergey Kovalev. After he beat Sergey Kovalev in the first fight, he beat him down mentally in the first fight, broke him down to his very last compound in the first fight. The second fight, he broke him down physically, you know what I mean? Straight up and down. So, since he's retired, there's only two names that the man Andre Ward has spoke about that have come out his mouth or has entertained questions and answered them about, and that's Anthony Joshua and Canelo Alvarez. Well, Anthony Joshua's quite a while ago. If he said he would come back, move up to heavyweight to fight Anthony Joshua, I doubt those type of thoughts. He has any motivation at this given time to come back and fight the man Anthony Joshua. I really highly doubt it, you know what I mean? But Canelo Alvarez, I think the opportunity of beating Canelo Alvarez is something the man Andre Ward is contemplating, and he's salivating at the thought he can come back and beat the man Canelo Alvarez. Because the man said if he came back to boxing, there's nobody who he think he could beat him. He said basically, Andre Ward, that he didn't become a first ballot Hall of Famer thinking that anybody could beat him, you know what I mean? He shows respect to every fighter, but he went into every fight thinking that he's going to be the victor. And really and truly, Andre Ward finished out his career as undefeated. Now, you know, I'm not going to harp on what I think he should have done in his career, and I basically feel there was only two fights left on the table that I think he should have taken to even enhance his legacy by a long shot, you know what I mean? To even enhance his legacy and say, look, them fellas took on all comers. Because, you know, I used to laugh at the notion when people would say he cleaned out a 168-pound division and he cleaned out the 175-pound division. You know, people use them type of terms a little too loosely, you know what I mean? Cleaning out means you taking up all comers, like how the man Bud Crawford did at 140 pounds. I'm saying there was nobody else left for him to fight. Of course, there was a fight that I wanted to see and fight fans wanted to see, except those who thought that man would lose, and that was a fight between Bud Crawford and Mikey Garcia. And Mikey Garcia had no intentions of fighting the man Bud Crawford till this day. He thought he was brave enough to go to 147. Thought it was a good idea to fight the man Errol Spence, and look how that turned out. And 175 for the man Andre Ward, you know what I mean? He had 3 straps, WBO, IBF, WBA. He had only one left, and that was the WBC and the lineal title held by the man Adonis Stevenson. But, you know, in boxing, the politics and, you know, these Ring Magazine, you know, they put a battery in the man Andre Ward's back and gave him the Ring Magazine title. And that, I guess the man Andre Ward felt, look, I don't got to fight nobody else. Ring Magazine gave me a title. They say I'm the #1 guy in the division. But, you know, I don't care what nobody says. Lineal trumps Ring Magazine. Lineage been around way before Ring Magazine started awarding belts, what, in the 20s, mid-20s, with guys like Pancho Villa and Jack Dempsey, right? Now, Andre Ward versus Canelo Alvarez would be a fight for the ages. I'm trying to tell you. You know what I mean? And would Andre Ward defeat the man straight up and down, coming off of what? 2017, maybe let's say 2018. 2018, 19, 20, 21. About a 3.5, 4 year inactivity out the ring. The man's been in suits as far as commentating on ESPN. Could that man come back to boxing and just get in the ring straight up and down and beat the man Canelo Alvarez? Now, theoretically, if we're talking about skill for skill, pound for pound, skill for skill, and no question the man Andre Ward beats the man Canelo. You know what I mean? Andre Ward has all the tools to even make it an easier fight, in my opinion, than the man S.O.G Kovalev in the first fight. Even the second fight, let's not get it twisted. When we talk about boxing, let's put everything in its context. When the man Andre Ward in the second fight, he ain't cleaned that man out in the 8 rounds. What it go? 8 rounds stopped him in the 8th round? No, sir, it wasn't no 8 rounds. Wash just beat him down. No, the man, it was a close round. I believe I had it like, trying to recollect my scorecard. But let's say after 6 rounds, it was a close fight, you know what I mean? But Andre Ward did what he did, and he broke down the man mentally and physically and mentally, you know what I mean, in the second fight, okay? And in the first fight, look, that man Andre Ward had to overcome a lot of adversity, almost getting dropped in round 1 with the jab, getting dropped in round 2, had to get up off the canvas, you know what I mean? Now, you and I know the man Canelo Alvarez ain't gonna put Andre Ward on the canvas. That's what he's not gonna do. Neither will he stop him. So we talk about skill for skill, pound for pound. What Andre Ward, highly touted amateur background pedigree, you know what I mean? Man was the last American gold medalist, and that was 2004. Jesus Christ, we're in 2021. America still ain't had a gold medalist in boxing as far as men are concerned. Wow. But as far as skill for skill, pound for pound, Andre Ward, I believe, has a better jab, has better defense. Canelo Alvarez defense has improved, no question about it. But we also have to put in context who his defense has improved against. You know what I mean? Okay. Sure, he beat the man Danny Jacobs and made Danny Jacobs look stupid with all the misses. Same with Canoli. Same with Triple G. Canoli with the head movement. Was but you know, dodge slipping punches. You know what I mean? It was a thing of beauty. But at the end of the day, did he wash those guys? No, he ain't washed them guys. You know what I mean? You check it. So the man Andre Ward, I do believe he's more defensively sound. You know, in the pocket, definitely a better inside fighter. You know what I mean? Now, we don't know how he would look with his coming back into boxing because, you know, the man Andre Ward, also, one of the reasons he retired is because of the sustained injuries he'd had over his career, you know what I mean? Whether it was his shoulder or surgery on his knee. You know, the man was coming in was left out the game, kind of a hobble man, not quite the same fighter he used to be at 168 pounds. You know what I'm saying? But what advantages does Canelo Alvarez have in order to beat Andre Ward? And when I'm talking to y'all, man, I ain't talking like the man Andre Ward will just come into boxing and beat him. Look, he's been out the ring for almost 3.5, 4 years. So inactivity will definitely be a factor in whether the man claims, like he says, that he can beat Canelo and anybody that he would come back against. You know what I mean? I think Andre Ward has paid his dues, was for sure legitimate, no question about it. Number 1 pound for pound fighter, you know what I mean? Whenever in two different times, you know what I mean? Whether it was around the time when he was in the Super Series, you know what I'm saying? The World Boxing Super Series, and when he reclaimed back his throne when he beat the man S.O.G Kovalev, you know what I mean? So in 2 different occasions, the man has been the top pound for pound boxer in boxing, you know what I'm saying? Canelo, on the other hand, yes, some people, you know, some people claim he's number 1 pound for pound, but it's, you know, it's quite disputed, you know what I mean? Not everybody agrees on that, you know what I mean? You check it. Not everybody agrees on that. Now, some may have claimed they didn't agree that Andre Ward was number one pound for pound. They tried to claim it was Chocolatito. Well, you saw what the man Rungvisai did to Chocolatito in the second fight and in the first fight. You know what I mean? Andre Ward really and truly, he went through that type of adversity like Chocolatito did in the first fight, a close, controversial fight. He only did that when he moved up in weight, same like Chocolatito did. But the only difference was Sergey Kovalev was a legit, no question about it, top 5 pound for pound fighter at the time. Rungvisai was not. All right, so put that in your think tank. You know what I mean? Now, Andre Ward, I'd love to see him come back and fight Canelo. You know what I mean? I think that'd be an excellent challenge. You know what I mean? Now, I'm sure the Canelo Alvarez fans, they don't like to hear this. They're praying that this fight never happens. Look, man, your prayers may come true. You know what I mean? This is not a definite that the man Andre Ward's coming back. And I know you don't want your boy to face any adversity. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I'm a boxing fan. And that type of fight right there is a legacy fight for both guys. You know what I mean? Could Andre Ward come back, pull a Sugar Ray Leonard? You know, ain't nobody done what Sugar Ray Leonard has done since coming back into boxing over that kind of 4-year hiatus. Come back, fight the number one pound for pound fighter in the world at the time, 87, in the man Marvin Hagler. You check it, marvelous Marvin Hagler, one of my all-time favorites, top 2 of all time. Some days he's my favorite, but I also love Pernell Whitaker. You know what I mean? I love the southpaws. I do. I ain't gonna hold y'all, man. Something about a southpaw who could box. It's a thing of beauty. So I love right-handed fighters too. Don't get it twisted, man. But it's not by design. It's just I love Marvin Hagler. I love Pernell Whitaker. Love Rigondeaux. I loved Adonis Stevenson when he was in the game. Manny Pacquiao, etc. Many fighters. I love right-handed fighters too. Tommy Hearns and the likes. You know what I mean? Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? Michael Spinks. You know, but Andre Ward versus Canelo Alvarez. If Canelo Alvarez feel they man is that dude, best fighter ever out of Mexico, I've heard them say that. You know what I'm saying? They should put pressure on the man Andre Ward. You know what I mean? Because lately, man, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been seeing a lot, especially on my channel too, man. Fellas coming talking about Latino power or Hispanics causing panic. You know what I mean? Throwing they you know, just being obnoxious, really. You know what I mean? Because I be March Boxing, I don't go to nobody's channel and be putting no hashtag Black Power and putting up no black fists or nothing. Man, I'm not into that nut-ass shit. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I don't got to do that, you know what I mean? To me, it's not about Hispanic versus black or black versus white or, you know what I mean? Nah, it's not about none of that. This is a great fight right here. And Canelo Alvarez fans, if they think that they man is the goods, they should put pressure on the man Andre Ward to come back so Canelo could take this man's O. You know what I mean? You check it, that'd be, that right there would be something to really enhance the man Canelo Alvarez's legacy. You know what I mean? So let me know in the comment section, man, what y'all think, man. You know what I mean? You think the man Andre Ward got the skills to pay the bills to come back and beat the man Canelo Alvarez? If you had to take them prime for prime at their best, you know what I'm saying? And that's assuming at this given time, Canelo is, you know, he's the active fighter. He's in his prime, at his best right now. You think Canelo got anything that you think he could beat the man Andre Ward? You know what I'm saying? We already know who got the better footwork. You know what I'm saying? We already know who has the better jab. We already know who has the better inside work. You know what I'm saying? And we already know these things, you know what I mean? So the question is, will Canelo Alvarez fans put pressure on Ward to come back so they man could actually defeat him? Or can Andre Ward, is he talking out the side of his neck? And is he biting off more than he can chew? Be March Boxing, I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out of here. Peace.